Um, so yeah, I took a bit of a break from streaming. I've actually my beard has fully grown at this time. Not the reason why I took a break was not to grow my mustache out into a full beard. A lot happened. I for starters was feeling pretty overwhelmed. It was a couple of weeks ago when I stopped. It was assessment time for me at uni, and I have been back doing two subjects for the first time since pre-COVID, um, and it was a lot of work towards the end. There were two massive assessments that, actually three massive assessments, kind of around that time. There was one that was due a little earlier than um, in the end of the semester, and that was the one I started working on, which is why I was not able to stream as regularly. I kind of had to choose where my priorities lay, and uni was the priority. Actually, before I continue, I'm just gonna make sure that my audio is all good. Yeah, it was fine. I assumed as much, but it would have been really funny if after a month of no streaming I forgot how to make it sound okay in here. Um, so yeah, uni was hard. Um, my brain was kind of suffering. I'm a sufferer of mental health issues, a variety of them, to varying degrees over my entire adult life. Um, and I know where my limits are, and I know sometimes the best thing to do for myself is to pull back and to not be sort of seen, to not be perceived, I guess. I don't mind being seen necessarily, but broadcasting myself suddenly became a terrifying prospect, even to just the small but lovely audience that I have. It's not, not like I'm beaming out to hundreds of homes, but um, I became very self-conscious and just needed to not be looked at for a little while. And also, I finished my old job, and I got a job at a school, which is super exciting, but again, really stressful. This is I'm studying to be a teacher, obviously, not obviously, but if you know me at all, that's you know that's what I'm doing, and the combination of all of those things sort of hitting me all at once, like the uni ending, finishing my old work, and starting this new job, all within the space of a few days, more or less, that began to loom, and I was like, nah, cutting streaming out. I'll keep uploading the YouTube videos, and I'll play a couple games that I had on the pile that I didn't intend to stream. Like I played a bunch of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I got really into Risk of Rain 2, which is a game that I have been meaning to play for a while. And then I did play a lot of NieR off stream, but I'll get to that in a second. What else? What other admin do I need to take care of? Oh yeah, with regards to the YouTube videos, I did in my non-streaming life state, in the rhythm that I built up not thinking about Twitch, I completely forgot that VODs only stay up for a limited period of time, and one of my VODs for the NieR streams expired, and I'm not able to access it anymore. And that was how I was downloading and then re-uploading to YouTube first editing and then re-uploading to YouTube the streams that I've been doing. So I don't think there's anyone out there that's going to be like heartbroken. Apart from myself, I was pretty annoyed because I was enjoying chronicling my playthrough of this game. I suppose the best thing I can do is put this right at the start of the next installment of the YouTube videos. So if you're watching the Let's Play series, there is going to be a whole missing chunk. It's hard to say. I cannot remember exactly what was in that chunk, what we did. I think we did a couple pretty big story things. including getting up to where we are now, which is sort of near the end of Ending A, or towards the end. We're about to go to Shadow Lord's Castle, I believe. Oh no, we're about to go see Deviler. It's been a really long time since I've played the story of this game, but I have been playing a lot of it. I've been doing all of the extraneous stuff that, honestly, I never really did in my original playthrough of this game, including growing a Lunatia, which I think I've got a couple going here, yeah. So I cultivated the legendary flower, which is a pretty difficult achievement to get. It's one of the rarer ones currently in the list of achievements because it takes a really long time. I'm going to harvest a couple, and I'm going to leave one just to get its seeds. I think they sell for quite a lot. Just thought I'd grab them anyway. And I'll leave that one to get its seeds. But yeah, it required a lot of cross-pollinating of some other flowers that you can get in the game, and there's like a very slim chance that when you do that you get different colours, and then you put those colours next to other colours, and then you get a different colour, and it did take about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks of basically only doing that in the game, and then turning it off, and then you have to wait 2 days real time to get the seeds from those flowers, so I did that. What else did I do? I did quite a lot, actually. I did a lot of grinding for... Excuse me one second. Yeah, in the middle of this, I did also get a bit sick, and I'm over it. I'm not sick anymore, but there is still a kind of a lingering frog in the throat. So hopefully that won't cause too many problems today. Yeah, I did a lot of grinding for components to upgrade weapons. And I upgraded a heck of a lot of my weapons. I actually even I grabbed the few that I still could before needing to go into like the next section of the game. So yeah, you can see a lot of level 4s which are maxed out. I'm currently still wielding the Captain's Holy Spear. It's not maxed out, but I think from memory it's the highest. It's definitely the highest damage spear. The only thing that goes higher are these two-handed swords, which are too heavy to be enjoyable to use in battle. And then you've got the one-handed swords, which are really light and quick, but yeah, I'm just having way more fun using the spears. Yeah, you can see weapon collection 78%, so I'm pretty close to the end of weapon collection. I've got over 50% word collection. I don't think I can get the rest of them until subsequent playthroughs. And you'll also see that I am incredibly over leveled. Yeah, total playtime 42 hours. I don't know what it was at the last time I streamed. I think I played about 15 hours off stream just doing... It couldn't be 15. That seems crazy. It was at least 10. Just doing... just grinding for weapons, honestly. Sorry, grinding for components. I did a lot of the junkyard. I did the desert. I was in and out of the desert over and over again. I did all of the fishing quests. I've done 71% quest completion. The only quest I didn't continue on required me to talk to... I've got time. I did this one accidentally. I didn't even realize I had done this one. So we can do that. And then I need to go talk to Popola for these other two. And I didn't want to do those because I need to go to Popola for story missions. So I was in this kind of weird in-between state, this limbo, where I wanted to be playing this game, but I didn't want to be playing story stuff off stream because I wanted to capture all of my streams, all of the story content, and then I missed downloading one, so I wasn't able to upload it to YouTube. So then I felt like, well, what's the point? And then I had this like weird, like, why am I doing this moment? I don't know. I was kind of all over the place mentally. But all of that said, that was a really long preamble. How long have I been streaming for? 12 minutes. So it's about a 10-minute explanation of what's been going on. But, you know, to sum up a full month of quite a lot of highs and lows in my life. It's probably about as quickly as I can do it in. I'm sure I missed something. But anyway, I'm extremely excited to play a bit more of this game, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, for those of you who have joined me, who are lurking already, hello, welcome, missed you. And let's go talk to Popola, because I've had a little marker on my map for nearly a month telling me to do it, and oh, Devil is here too. I wonder what they'll have to say.
You're really gonna do it? The whole village is buzzing, you know. They say you're gonna go rescue Yona. I guess it's really happening, huh?
I'll bring her back. I promise.
About that.
Yeah?
Nothing. Never mind. Popola just loves to worry. Anyway, you be careful. Yes, do be careful.
Thanks.
Oh, let's talk to her for these side quests.
I have a map I need your help with.
Sure. What kind of map?
This map actually leads to a weapon. So.
Here, let me show you.
This looks like a map of the Lost Shrine. Apparently this leads to some unidentified object of great importance. It also talks about a hidden room in the Lost Shrine where sunlight doesn't reach. I bet that's where your secret treasure is hiding.
A hidden room in the Lost Shrine, huh? Thanks for the help.
Oh, not at all. Glad to be of service.
So the Lost Shrine's where we're headed anyway.
Hey,
so
Popola, you know anything about some kind of magic fortune-telling stone?
Oh, you mean the Eye of Power? And yes, I know it's a funny name. But that's what they're called. Why do you ask?
Helping someone out. You have any idea where I can get one?
Well, there used to be some on the roof of the Lost Shrine. I'm willing to bet they're still there.
All right. I'll give the Lost Shrine a shot. Okay,
so we're heading to the Lost Shrine anyway. I might even, before we get into this, I know I've been... I did a huge build-up to me playing this and was talking all about how I was putting off doing story stuff, but I think for the sake of just ticking these last couple quests off, I'm gonna just, before going to the Shadow Lord, I'm going to find this Eye of Power and this hidden room in the Lost Shrine. The Lost Shrine, I'm almost certain is... Yeah, the Lost Shrine is where we're going. Yeah, cool. So hopefully the game kind of guides me in that direction, in the direction of the side quests rather than the main quest, but I guess we'll see. Okay. Yeah, came through this area a lot. Harvested a lot of the wrong way. Whoops. I should go to Facade as well and drop off these petals. I guess I can do that in my next playthrough. It's not really gonna get me anything. I think it gives me some gold, but I'm doing fine for gold. So. Not a crucial one, but the other two both give me weapons. I think I get the iron pipe from the fortune teller, and the other one I'm not sure about. I think we get, yeah, I think both of them are. Oh. I've completely gone the wrong way. To get to the Lost Shrine, you have to go the back way. Well, okay, while I'm headed in this direction, I'm going to go through to Facade. I'm going to head up Facade. Why not? This is my, yeah, I'll do what I want. Go to Facade, drop off these seeds, and, then on to the back entrance of the Lost Shrine. It's taking a lot of self-restraint to not pick up every item on the ground, just because that's what I've been spending so much time doing. To be totally honest, I loved every minute that I was playing this game and not playing the main story. I just put on music or podcasts and just zoned out. I did the junk heap like an incalculable number of times. Maybe I'm exaggerating on it. It was probably counted, but it sure would have been hard to count. And yeah, it was so nice. It's a fun dungeon to just do over and over again, especially when you get to the higher level and you've got a very powerful weapon. The massive robots that you have to kill, find and kill to get like the rare item drops, go down in like 2 or 3 hits, and those were like mini bosses about 20 hours ago. So 20 hours into Chifley. Thank you for redeeming second. I missed you. I missed that. Enjoy the lurk that I imagine you probably will enjoy. But yeah, doing the junk heap, going to the desert shrine.
I got your seats. I look forward to seeing your desert flowers.
Yeah, bunch of gold. But that's done. I hadn't even clocked that I had finished that quest by harvesting the white moonflower seeds for the Lunateer. Pretty funny. A cool little thing that I noticed as well while I was playing this, it happened a couple of times, not enough. Let me start this. There were 2 times where I came into the desert and there were no enemies, and there was the King of Facade standing at the grave of wow, I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. His wife, the young girl from the first part of the game. Wow, it's been a few weeks since I've had to think about her name. But yeah, I tweeted about the moment. It's bizarre. I wasn't able to find anyone talking about it online. There was no record of it. It wasn't on the NieR wiki that it was a possible interaction. I looked up the dialogue line that comes up when you try and speak to him. Grimoire Vice just kind of tells you to leave him alone. And it was it's a tiny thing, a really small moment, and yeah, but it's really emblematic of what I think this game is about, and what the game does well, because it just really it shows a level of attention to detail for something at this point in the game. Normally, the first time you're playing it, there isn't really much about it that's different or unique beyond just like the like surface level stuff, like the music and the dialogue. Like there's these things that are cool about the game, but talking in broad strokes, it's not a wholly unique action RPG experience, and that was kind of the critique that many people had of it when they played it and only beat it once and didn't see all of the things that the game has to offer. But a little moment like that being in there just shows like a narrative depth that really emerges the more time you spend in the game's world. These guys just, I don't know, I'm just gonna show you. They're just gonna go down now. I may have over-leveled, unfortunately. It might be a little boring for a bit because
Oh, there.
I'm very powerful now. But oh well, I guess that's what happens when you spend 10 hours plus just mowing down enemies. Anyway.
Are we ready?
Are we
Let's
ready?
all make it back alive, okay?
It's a plan.
I wonder if I'll even be able to do the fortune teller side quest. I think I'll be able to get the weapon. There is another way of getting the iron pipe, I'm pretty sure. So this, if I don't get it from that quest, I think I'm given another opportunity not long after. So no big deal if that is the case. Oh, I think I can change my words as well. I should edit the words that I'm using, because I changed them to maximize rare item drops. Let me just change that real quick. Word edit, weapons, what? Yeah, I got the whole attack power and item drop rate. I think we can take off Mazar. Let's do a drain. I like paralyze. I don't think we need attack power plus 20%, honestly. I think we can raise the paralysis chance. Oh yeah, level 8 paralysis. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Oh, I should change the words on my magic to Dark Blast. So that's magic power 10%, item drop rate 25. Oh, I, without even realizing, earned the word that would give me 20% magic power. And let's go. Don't need more experience. MP cost lower. That's pretty good. 20% magic power plus 25% magic cost minus. And then what's the other? Dark Gluttony. Yeah. Let's do an identical build for those two. I've been using Dark Gluttony a bit more, trying to get into the rhythm of it. These guys appear in the desert. You have to fight a bunch of them in the desert to get a particular item drop as well. They are pretty annoying. Spawn pretty infrequently. I'm also, there was a point about halfway through my off-stream play where I just stopped earning new words. So I'm assuming I've gotten all that I can at the point that I'm at. That might be an incorrect assumption. It might just be down to luck. I've got over half of the words. So I got the achievement for word collection, which is there is no further word collection achievement. Now, to save some time, I've got the directions for the weapon room. I know it's a little bit cheap, but just for the sake of time saving. Up to first landing. Pretty choker. Oh yeah, I think there's going to be a ton of rare drops that I wasn't able to get easily. in this section. Possibly. Wow, this paralysis is triggering pretty much instantly every time, isn't it? Yeah, you can see they're just going down in a couple hits. I've also maxed out my the amount of health potions that I can have several times over. Open areas. Rubble leaning against the wall. Yeah. I think this is the way.
Is this a treasure?
Not but a pile of junk. It seems this treasure map was a ruse.
Now what? His wife isn't gonna like this at all.
I wonder if we go back to the village. Maybe I'm not going to be able to finish this quest in this playthrough. Oh well, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother. I'm playing the game now. We're doing Shadow Lord shit. Did I go the right way? Yeah, Twisted Rings. Yeah, I spent probably an hour just looking for Twisted Rings. Oh, and I'm getting words now. So yeah, it must just have been at a certain point the game locks you out of the word collection until you progress with the story, which I guess makes sense. Complex machines, another thing I was looking for. Alright, onwards. Actually taking damage though this time, which is unusual, honestly. By this time I mean in this part of the game. So maybe I'm not as overpowered as I thought I was. I was basically only fighting the weakest dudes in the game. You go through a pretty sure we just go up to the room we fight Vito. Pretty sure I just have an immense door that's covered in the magical runes and the angelic runic language. Probably should have been obvious, right? To NieR. Oh, actually, I learned that officially NieR isn't named NieR. It's kind of his name has always been kind of shorthanded to that when people talk about him, but the protagonist of this game is officially unnamed, which was unbeknownst to me, honestly. Alright, did we find those Eyes of Power? We did it. It didn't even look. It's fine. We don't need to get them. Let's just play. Done plenty of side questing on my own.
Such an ominous sight. And yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
I'll bet, Grandma.
This is where Vice and I first met. And first fought together.
Wow! This is where you used to live, Vice?
Well, yes, I suppose. In a technical sense.
Pretty nice digs for a floating magazine.
At least it was free from annoying hussies like yourself.
Let's continue.
And now the path is open.
Strangely nervous, even though I know what's ahead. I guess I had put it off for quite a while. So cool. It'd be great if you could fish in this water. Oh. Ah, that's right. The Phoenix Sword. Cool. That, I knew... well, I didn't know it was there. I knew there was a weapon in this area, but... What's going on? The music distorting.
Okay, hold on. Is it just me, or are we looping around the same path over and over?
What do you mean?
I think he means we're stuck.
There must be an escape route somewhere.
That's
To
right.
whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
the hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I've heard this somewhere before.
To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? I ask, why did humans disappear from the world? You must answer.
I answer, because of a black disease.
I ask, how can humans extend their lives?
By separating body from soul.
I answer, by separating body from soul.
I ask, what is the destination of souls?
I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells.
Very well. You are acknowledged as master. You may enter.
Well then, it seems the way is open.
Courtesy bus. Welcome. Good to see your name. Doing well. You're here for some cool stuff. This is near ending A.
It's the twins from your village.
So we are trying to head towards the Shadow Lord, who is ostensibly the big bad who has stolen our younger sister. But a lot of truths are about to be revealed about the nature of this world.
Devila, what are you doing here?
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yona here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
So out of character. Shadow Lord is a pretty dank name. It is an extremely dank name. It's almost... It's one of those things where it's like... It's kind of a... It's kind of platitudinal. It's sort of... It seems like an obvious portmanteau, not portmanteau, like a kind of title, Shadow Lord. But I can't think of anything else that has like Shadow Lord as like the name of a character, of an evil creature. Let's find out what they're doing here.
What are you two doing here?
I'm not going to answer that. You can figure it out yourself.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad.
Well...
We didn't want to fight you.
So cool.
We really didn't want to.
I can't see it. I wanted to pause. I'm just gonna pause right here before we do the fight. My mind was blown the first time I played this game and got to this point, because these characters are like, they're so, not only are they so friendly, they're so like benign, they're so kind of just like around, and Popola helps you throughout to try and find Yona. She helps you get all of the fragments, all of these, which lets you get into this location. It seems like they're on your side, and then you get the twist.
What's happening?
Sorry, but this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so, until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie! I don't believe it!
We never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so...
Actually, I should
With us-
change orders for Kaine and Emil.
more advice.
I turned them off while I was riding the
You
weapon.
are a
Give it all
traitor.
you've got!
I love their character designs. They look really great in this remake. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was caught there, but they said we were hoping to wait for another 100 years or so.
They copied my powers.
Ah, shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place. You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Vice, are you all right?
Tevela, Popola, why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the Shades? Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
Shadow Lord? So you've been on his side this whole time?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now. Please, enter the Shadow Lord's castle.
Ominous. So cool. Yeah, and for them to not give you...
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem...
Let's just get this all up. Yes. Can I restore MP with anything?
to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Well,
Vice?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Vice. I am perfectly...
Spooky, spooky, scary.
I think I hear a waltz.
But yeah, they through all of that, they didn't really give up anything about what's about to happen. They confuse things even more, mentioning waiting for another 100 or so years. And they don't say that they're in league with the Shadow Lord. They just tell you that you have to figure out the answer of that. Really cool.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all shades!
Oh.
I think we're locked in.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
Martial Arts Guard resist plus 9% weapon medical at level 9, so that I can even get higher than the level 8 paralysis that I've currently got. So let's just do that right now, why not? Hodulos Soles. See how little damage they do though? It's just like, yeah, really made it easy for myself. The Devil or a Popular fight is normally pretty hard as well, from memory.
Damn it! It won't stop coming!
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good...
Vice!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us!
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
Yeah, these guys are really annoying. These are the ones from the desert as well.
No, you idiots! What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool!
Damn no good bullshit
Thanks for your help,
bastard!
Kaine.
Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
Pretty comical.
Are they laughing? These things are freaking me out! Kaine! What's wrong?
We need to help Kaine!
You okay?
Yeah, but we got problems.
So, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times in this playthrough. I hope it's not a major spoiler for anybody watching, but it will soon be spoiled anyway. But in your second playthrough of the game, oh, wow. Let me just pause this and just say how cool to mirror the first fight you have with the boar, like the first difficult fight you have in the game. Is not with any shade, really. I mean, there are kind of semi-difficult shades up until that point that you have to fight, but they're not, they don't really mess with you too much. But then having to fight that boar early on in the Northern Plains to get the boar's tusk, to be able to summon it, to ride it around, it's like the first really difficult thing you have to do in the game. And then popping a boar shade as kind of a mini-boss prior to getting to the Shadow Lord is a really genius little touch. But as I was about to say, in the second playthrough you can hear what the shades are saying, or you're told what a translation of what the shades are saying. I can't remember exactly
We don't
what
need
that one
forgiveness,
says.
asshole.
Kaine?
Something about forgiveness. Kaine kind of gives away that she can. The reason you can understand the shades of the second playthrough is through her. And yeah, she kind of moments in the game where she kind of reveals that she can understand what the shades are saying. And that was
this thing?
That fog! Oh no!
I can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going!
Let's go.
Wait, where are we going? Do I not have to kill this thing? Do I have to leave? It's locked, yeah.
This way. Move.
Oh, there we go. We did it, everybody. Dragoon Lance.
Up here!
How can we deal with this thing?
Be kind of the game to give you a bunch of medicinal herbs right at the end here as well.
Hurry!
Oops. Oh, you really can't. You just can't get hit at all, huh? Well, we'll try that again. Hopefully it just drops me right there. I don't have to do all of that again. That would be crazy if it made me do it. Okay. Yeah, that would have been insane.
Up here!
I shouldn't get distracted by the medicinal herbs. I don't need them.
How can we deal with this thing?
I still need to bash the crates, I guess.
Please, hurry!
Damn it, I can't get it open.
How'd you get in
Incoming!
here?
The entrance is locked too!
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Now I think maybe does it have to break the wall? I wasn't sure if there was something I had to do there, but apparently not. King of Facade. Where did you come from? Facade, I guess.
出土汗より一旦おきとだあらペルアと試練地無責4いら
That was a great hit.
かついて
What are you doing here?
サルリとしたと改ざむとキロだろ
Can't see the text behind my face, but you get
ア
the
ラク
gist.
ス三世隊
フルワリワリコテトラス感化しキンデ Right
あらペルアと
飛んだでキリゴイタニ
They're helping us out so that we can move
地
it.
去ったと止めるた改ざむ地と
ラチゲラ
えタッカー 奇跡を
Hey! Stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no!
King, no.
後でアリクラーサ
Meet again, you and I, once all of this is over. Not wrong.
箱
But not for a reason. Not for the reason he thinks.
No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own!
ゆくくおたおきアルタビエト来るとこっちいる
Fira is the name of his wife, I just
か
remembered.
てケタルイトエチケロアルテリアだせ
ギルジー
各石技師
真鍮カレルタカイザムテラス
なんだ改て
Great character. Really
フラー
cool
ルペルア
growth.
とチ
Even for a side character. Doesn't even join your party, but it feels like you kind of grow together.
Open the damn door!
Thank you, Kaine.
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
That's right.
Friend.
Oops. This shouldn't have. Oh no, there's a new health out there. I think we're good for items. Yeah, plenty of strength capsules as well, just in case. Don't think we're gonna have any trouble with this fight somehow, just based on my strength level and my weapon. But better to be safe than sorry, you know. Great track. There they are. Those staffs are cool. Staves? Is it staves when it's plural?
Popola!
Or is that something different?
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Ringing
Do
a
you
bell,
still not
Weiss?
remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
Obtained Project Gestalt documents.
Weiss! My mind. I remember, Devila. Popola. You are not human. In fact. Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us. Every person standing in this room are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades.
And there it is. There's the big reveal. So this is the entire thrust of this game. The entire crux is that it tricks you into thinking you're who you are, and then flips it around right at the end. And in fact, you have been fighting humans the entire time. Those shades were all human souls trying to get back to their bodies. A totally understandable desire that, you know, the game hammers home through dialogue so much all the way through that they don't have any thoughts, any desires. They just want to kill, they just want to destroy, they're trying to break into the town, they're trying to cause all this havoc, when really they're human and they're trying to live again. They're trying to get to their shells.
Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time.
And there's twist number 2.
Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty.
And suddenly the intro sequence where you are playing as again, for shorthand, I'm just going to keep calling him NieR. But you're playing as NieR with Yona next to you in that there's like a convenience store, and it's seemingly kind of modern day Earth, and you're fighting these creatures, and then, you know, skip forward several thousand years, and the game doesn't ever really acknowledge the fact that, like, the world has twisted and changed, and for some reason you're still here. But that's why, because the NieR you play in that opening sequence is the Shadow Lord. Well, or it is who becomes the Shadow Lord. That NieR dies and is turned into a shade, and this NieR is a replicant. Is a kind of an automaton shell.
Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans.
And Devil and Poplar are, yeah, they're going to explain it, more or less.
You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
Where are they?
You and us, we're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
No. I'm nothing like you.
Probably there was more dialogue there that could play as we fought, but
Devila!
nothing that we won't hear elsewhere, probably.
Popola, are you crying? No! Don't die! You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls. Devila, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh God, I can't stop it. This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird.
Somehow not a cheesy line. It also, this goes a pretty long way to explaining why Devil and Poplar and then NieR Automata, which is set again tens of thousands of years after this game. It's not the same Devil and Poplar. I think it's just 2 Devil and Poplar units, but they're given the same personality job, essentially.
Let's stop this now.
Stop? Stop? Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal, and now you want to stop? Popola, wait! It doesn't have to. No one stops! It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
No one stops.
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devila were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial.
It's not
I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight her.
Stop bitching and start fighting. It's the only way.
And there goes Devil Unpopular.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes.
The background of the city.
And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
Emil. The best boy.
Emil.
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now
So
get
good.
going, okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Incredible. The imagery, the push away with the pulse of energy. Gorgeous. Perfectly conceived, brilliantly executed. As with all of
Oh
the
dear.
visual language of this game. Oh
Kaine
dear.
is so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn.
That's it. That's it, Emil. That's the lesson here. You can't save everybody forever. Did he just say NieR, though? I thought it was never confirmed that was the name of the character, but I think he just says
I
it.
want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time.
You go.
I'm scared. I don't want to die.
So rough giving Emil this like beautiful send off where it seems like he's happy with the sacrifice that he's making, or if not happy, at least understanding of the sacrifice he's making, and then right at the last minute, I don't want to die. It's very real. Oof. But you ask, how is it possible that Emil is in NieR Automata if he dies at the end of NieR Replicant? And so that I say, keep watching. Not now, in future playthroughs. There's multiple endings, different things happen. And you will learn what is to become of Emil. And all of our friends. There's the Shadow Lord, aka the real NieR, and Yona. he's ready for us.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. I guess another commonality between this game and Automata is the desperation that is felt towards the end of each of the playthroughs. It's not, it's not easy going at the end. It's harder than ever for the characters emotionally, not just physically. Which is, that's a feeling that a lot of media has. It's not a rare thing for the end of something to feel very desperate and to feel very immense. But in a Japanese role-playing game, often at the end there's this feeling of like coming together, of this like preemptive triumph as you head towards the end. It might loom in the distance, but there's this triumphant feeling, not a like melancholic, desperate feeling. So unique in the genre, perhaps, if not unique in the grand scheme of storytelling. And we got another Besseler. Already got that one. Rusty kitchen knives and broken saws, 2 more items that I was looking everywhere for, and the game's just giving them to me. Hopefully, I think I take all of my components on into the next playthrough. Pretty sure I do. You take all your weapons, so I'd assume as much. It's been a minute. I'm remembering a lot of the game, but I'm not remembering the minute details, the mechanics.
Yona!
The subtle, cape wings is very... It's not so subtle there now, I guess. It's pretty blatant, but as he emerges, the subtlety of it is nice. Very end boss vibes.
This ends here!
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
How can a mere tool hope to stand stand against the Shadow Lord?
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you.
Get out of here, Grimoire Noir. I'm nothing like you.
Be careful!
I know!
Weiss, you
Only
alright?
that one beam attack is telegraphed, really. I just have to keep dancing around him for that attack. Too strong. I leveled up too much. Here we go. Yeah, all grown up.
Brother?
Yoda.
Not you. Not you, buddy.
Huh?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him.
These replicants have developed a humanity of their own, much like the machines and the androids
It's you,
in Automata.
isn't it?
Not to keep comparing the two games, I have obviously been doing that all the way through, but I think it's important to note the thematic mirroring.
Let's go home.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that I love you.
There it is, Shadow Yona.
Hurry. The shade that possessed her is gone.
Kaine, watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this! What? What's wrong?
You're freaking me out here,
Am I
Vice.
doing damage here? I'm pretty sure.
What are you doing? Come so... Just do it. Strike the... killing blow.
Yeah, there it is. The bit crushing on his voice is so cool too.
One moment, please.
You okay?
Fine,
Okay, buddy.
just fine. Alright, no, I'm not.
Vice.
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go.
Genuinely
Out of the
funny
way.
line.
I have one final task to fulfill.
Sure do.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice.
Again, can we just appreciate Grimrar Vice's design?
Don't let it go to your
The face is such a perfect avatar for all elements of the personality and the narrative surrounding the character. Let's just heal.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live.
Ooh, good, nice bullet hell move there. So fun. Done. Holding the spear like a sword just because I'm using the spear as the weapon. Pretty funny. I suppose it expects you to be using probably the Beast Lord, I guess, at this point. Maybe I should have changed to the Beast Lord for a more iconic moment, but here we are. Just take a quick look over here at this home that they've built.
Is Yona all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
And so is Vice.
Vice? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
Memories of love give our lives meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
I reckon it's your boy. Cute moment, making you retype your name.
Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kaine.
Kaine, come back.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass.
Holding the
You know how
arm?
it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
That'll come back.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Take it easy, yeah.
Kaine.
Hey, look. It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it.
Sort of. Sort of. So I believe that's ending A. I think the game might show us a little something more, maybe. But if not, we go straight into second playthrough. Oh no, yeah, little something more. The village.
Thank you. I love it. It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
It sure is. we go. We've run credits. Wish it wasn't so bright on my face for this, but nothing much I can do at this point. I do actually. I completely forgot they did this. The alphabetical credits with the role of the person in question in brackets after is kind of dope. It's kind of extremely dope, actually, to me. It really removes any kind of a hierarchical element to the crediting of it, and it also puts Yoko Taro right at the end, probably. So that's cool. So yeah, anyway, what have we learned? We've learned shades are humans, and we've been mowing down the souls of humans. Well, they're humans. They're the souls of humans, disembodied, removed from their shells, from their vessels, presumably desperate to get back to them. The people we thought were humans are they're gestalts. I called them replicants before, but I think this is the Gestalt project and the kind of the eternal vessels are called gestalts, or maybe it's the Gestalt project and they're called replicants. There's some naming convention there that I'm not remembering off the top of my head right now. And we lose Emil in the end, and Kaine doesn't really stick around. Is kind of the defining aspects of ending ending B, playthrough B. We're going to have quite a lot more insight into Kaine as a character. We're going to get a lot of from memory. I think there's like a whole opening section before we get back into the game where I guess presumably Kaine is still embedded in stone. So the subsequent playthroughs start from the midpoint where NieR has grown up and is thank you Gozy Dust, thank you for the GGs. Yeah, so we start from the point at the library where Kaine is entombed, and we move forward from there. So I think presumably while Kaine is in that stone state, this is kind of like an internal monologue, I think is the implication, that kind of reflects back on her younger days. I'll wait. I mean, we're obviously going to see that pretty soon. And then from there, we're given a little bit more insight into Kaine's whole situation, whole deal, and that gives the player a little bit more understanding of the world, and thus within the game, where we're given the dialogue of the shades. I think when you're fighting groups of shades, you'll get written dialogue to kind of translate what they're saying, and then you also get additional cutscenes before major boss fights, which give more context to the shades' backstories. Again, I keep bringing it up, but there is sort of like a mirroring in NieR Automata, where you play through once and you fight these creatures, these machines, grotesque and seemingly devoid of kind of logic or desire or feeling, and you're told at a certain point that actually that's not exactly what's going on there, and then when you reach those crucial points in the game, you're given that additional insight and kind of you fill in the rest of the gaps, I guess. And yeah, I think it's a really effective storytelling method. I think there's there we go, Yoko Taro in all caps. That's funny. Creative director. Yeah, presenting an audience with an entire narrative that presents itself as one thing, and then making you relive it multiple times with additional information which changes the meaning of entire sequences and segments, and it completely changes the sentiment of the piece as a whole. And it's an entirely, not entirely, but it's a totally, I keep having all of these conditional words that make it seem like the whole thing is reliant on this aspect, but it's not. It primarily, I would say, this is a feature of interactive media. I don't think you can really, I guess the only other non-interactive form of media that I could kind of compare it to would be maybe House of Leaves, the book, only because you're as a I guess there is an active element to it, but a reader can reread different versions of that book to glean new information, and I guess you could sort of compare it here, but I think the video game format suits it because it is a format that is historically and chronically kind of repeated over and over again by people. People tend to, not always, but a lot of people like to play and replay games. So by encouraging that through the addition of new information, new endings, new everything. Well, not new everything, but new lots of things are new. I don't know. It's a cool way of looking at it. And then we got our ending A in the save file. Exit the clear data save screen. Yeah, yes. And B, load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. You can now read A Departed Mother's Diary in your house. Wardrobe has been added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through A Departed Mother's Diary. Change music has been added to the game settings section of the options menu. So lots of additional stuff. Why don't we pop into the game again? Got a little bit more time before I need to start getting ready for bed. Maybe another hour or so. Let's see how I go. Let's we'll pop back in. I'm gonna be in the library, as it says there, and I'll see what the game kind of presents us with when we re-enter.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
So the text thing that I mentioned before, I must be misremembering. I think that might be the diary that you can read, or maybe it happens at a different point. I thought it happened initially, but yeah. As I've said a few times, it's been about 7 years since I played the original. Oh no, here we go. Kaine's Dreams, Discrimination. I might need to move my face again. 1 second. So I'll do my best to read through this this section, but I got a little bit of the frog in the throat going on, so if I'm not able to, well, I'll read out the crucial parts. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointed firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. The rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. "You, Kaine!" The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. "What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home?" Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than something, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. "I didn't say you could leave, freak." Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. "He can't hurt me," she lied to herself. "Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't hurt." Oh look, the little freak is going to cry. "What's wrong? You said that everyone hates you and wants you dead?" Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. "Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off." Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn and run, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. "Show me." "No." "Did you just say no?" Demo grinned evilly. "You don't get to say no to me. No one says no to me." Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. "Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves." As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. "I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are." Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. "Go home?" Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. "Freak," chanted the children. "Freak, freak, freak." Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. "That's like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And don't you bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it." The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted it back and forth. "Ow," he screamed, leaping to his feet. "Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me." The old woman shrugged. "Death is the best cure for stupid." Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step back and spat on the ground. "Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you." Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. "Ha! Look at that fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight." The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kaine," she said, "why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned into sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempts the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath, understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not, don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mum and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, then they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them when I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's head hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it fell between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are, what a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're going to be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. They began the long walk home. Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood between the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, and no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. So, the big thing we learn about Kaine... I'm in the dark here, but there isn't much else I can do about that. So we learn that Kaine is... It is implied that she is intersex. As a child, she was a lot more ambiguously gendered. It kind of mentions her physicality being not quite feminine, not quite masculine. The bullying being directed at her was aimed at kind of her not being the woman that she or the girl at that time that she believed to be, that she felt, that she was, due to the way that her body was shaped, more or less, and the village of the area kind of took her physicality as like a bad omen, and I guess like this revelation might go some way to explaining why Kaine in her adulthood presents herself the way that she does. I don't know that the game ever really connects those dots and makes it explicit, but the implication is that due to the bullying that she received early on in life and the trauma that she had from that, Kaine decided to present in as feminine a way as possible in order to be treated as a woman, I suppose. Maybe there's a more delicate way of putting that, but that seems to be that's the interpretation that I and most other people have. So this is like the first of many revelations we get about Kaine that change the way that we view the rest of the game that we've seen so far, and kind of changes or maybe gives a bit of an explanation also as to why she's so quick to anger, so quick to fight back. She's been dealing with abuse her entire life, verbal abuse and physical abuse, and so when characters like Grimoire Weiss call her a hussy or use other kind of loaded language like that, she gets obviously very defensive. I think it's like a really interesting... It's a shame that the game has no way of communicating this to you at first, because there really is this idea of Kaine in the first playthrough, if that's all that a player has experienced, and a lot of the critics who reviewed the game based on the first playthrough alone noted like how fan servicey her design is, and not to take away from that, it's true, it is that way, but there's like a pretty clear reasoning for it that's quite progressive and quite empathetic and shows like an understanding of the complication of gender and gender presentation and things like that. So I think that's the main thing that I want to say about this part of the game. Give me a second. I'm just gonna to clear my throat again. We got a little bit more text to get through, so let's get on the other side of it, shall we? I think this one's shorter from memory. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sound of an axe striking wood. The noise had an almost purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as it could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma," called Kaine. "That you, Kaine?" yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. Again, not sure what that word is. Past Kaine, close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something?" The axe poised to strike another wobbly blow paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can get to the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no change in it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travelling to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harboured a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood. When she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Again, another reveal. Happier now, shouldering the axe foot. Something something from the axe, forcing it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she kneeled by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. "Stop that, just stop," she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying, just tired from the trip is all." Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. "It's all right," she said. "I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed like eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. "Well, I don't like it, goddammit, but I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up." The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still in there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. "I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong." She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. "Hey lady," said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. "Where's the apothecary?" The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. "How dare this thing speak to me," they seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. "Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one." "Which way?" Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. "Oh my god," he sputtered. "What are you doing, you freak?" The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. "Ha!" barked Demo. "That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo." The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could think of a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture at once contained bright, vibrant colours. But time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. "You like that picture?" Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. "That's my daughter. I sketched her when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now." Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. "Pictures are wonderful things," continued the shopkeeper. "They let the ones closest to us live on forever." He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Carly, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Carly? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hand. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you draw a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in the bed. Her feet were red and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she'd been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of something, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Oh shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It could have also been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colours. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honour above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more, and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She something for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before, and it makes me want to go on so that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through, but this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. I do not think I can continue to read. I think I might need to skip through all of this now. But yeah, my throat's gone. But I would encourage reading through this next one in your own time. I'm going to quickly speed through it so that we can just get on the other end. But some stuff happens involving a grandmother and a shade. And the shade, I believe, is the one that, yeah, the one that lives within her. So this is the other final, possibly most important reveal about Kaine, is that within her left arm, where the bandage is, I think, is
The
Shade,
beast approaches.
who we'll now be able to we'll now hear from as we play through the game again. Oh, yep, I've still got my spear equipped, so...
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
I wondered if the enemies would scale much higher at this point. And that gave me no indication, one way or the other. So I continued to wonder that. Oh, and another one. Okay. I was hoping there wasn't. I thought there might have been another one that gave the full context. Yeah. Here we go. So the Shade is talking to her. And offering to help. With the situation she's in. And the Shade calls her Sunshine. Tyran or Tyran, can't remember the pronunciation. And so yes, he's hanging out, as he says. I'll be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour, and I like rotten and sour. So yeah, so they strike a bug, and then Tyran the Shade begins to live within Kaine.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Grandma.
Again, I will
Kaine, you gotta live.
reread
You
those
gotta come
sections
back to
myself,
us.
and I would encourage anyone watching to do the same. And also it explains why Kaine in that moment says grandma. She does in playthrough A as well, but
Hey.
it's because her entire life is flashing before her eyes, and that is what we are experiencing in that moment in the form of a text sequence.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
And also
You
getting
still
all the
recognize
context we
me?
got about
Of course.
Kaine's
I
experience
knew you
with
right away.
body dysmorphia.
Thank
I guess.
you.
She instantly recognizes that same
Welcome back.
feeling in Emil in his current form, and just
Wow.
instantly
You
accepts
grew
him.
So,
It's so sweet,
has it
so
been?
nice.
5 years.
shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great.
So yeah, as you would expect from playing through
Kind of
replaying
waking from her long, petrified sleep.
to finish.
Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
We know that's in reference to Kaine and Emil being made to sleep outside of the town, but it's funny to have that moment come just after Devil and Popola reveal themselves to be semi-antagonistic towards our goals. So yeah, as I mentioned, as you would expect, playing through a game multiple times to reach multiple endings, it will be a lot of repeat moments. We're going to see, I guess that's maybe why the missing YouTube piece won't be such a big deal, because we're going to see those moments over again. But yeah, you'll get different insights each time, so it's not, it's not entirely the same.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me.
And again, already new insights after hearing of Kaine's experience being forced out of her village because of the way she was, and now it's happening again immediately
As
as soon
long
as
as
she
you're
wakes
still
up.
with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
Just sleeping outside.
We'll see you later.
sorry about this.
And there's something to be said for that line delivery there. I think that's an
What is the
important
matter?
thing.
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
And yeah, it's a subtle thing to have that be the first moment
I
of
didn't
return
get
to
much
the
sleep
game
that night.
after getting the Kaine backstory, but it's
For
very
the first time in my life, I hated Devila.
it's really impactful.
For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Kaine and Emil's situation. Now, as the player of the game, we will be made privy to, at least for now, Kaine's situation.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
So yeah, instantly we get a new scene as well.
Me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole a shade possession thing.
Oh yeah, and Emil knows about that.
My
That's the other
body
thing we
is
learn.
different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
It's funny. That's a nice moment. I'll play for a little longer, but I think I might need to finish up pretty soon. The one of the downsides to this new job is the early start.
Sleep well?
So early to bed, early to rise.
Sure. And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Okay, let's grab this stuff. Gold moonflower.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I've not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
So yeah, this is I never did this. I don't know if this was in the original game or if this is a new edition. It's probably in the original game.
Me?
Yeah. Oh no, this must be a new edition.
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Because that's...
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
It's Papa NieR.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Oh, fuck, they got his voice and everything. Let's give it a go. This is a good way to end. So yeah, I think this must be a new addition to this version of the game, or maybe it's in NieR Replicant as well, but this is the world of the recycled vessel, created to avoid the destruction of all. I don't think I can. No, I can't, so it's down. Oh wow. This song. So sick. And there's like a crazy distortion over the screen as well. Huh. Probably gonna get more difficult as I descend, right? The enemies. There's more of them. It's almost like a song from the world ends with you or something. Oh, it's a remix of that theme. Yeah. Really cool. Oh, Easy. Easy peasy. Oh, okay. way. It's like a boss rush or something, or dungeon crawl style. Black Scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. So, are we visiting all of the main locations in the game? That effect over the game is wild. Hold on, I'm gonna move my camera back so I can see my health. There we go. That's so cool that they put this in for those who played the Xbox 360 version. A little nod to the fans. Yeah, pretty easy fight so far. That looks like a new diary entry too. I haven't seen that one. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death. They are legion. Those who plunged into the world of darkness. Yeah, we got a library fight too. The original library before the roof caved in. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting experience for these. Kills, which is fine. Oh, also my health is probably not going to regenerate, so maybe I should be a little bit more careful about my attacks. Oh no, I'm getting to this one. I've got all my items from the real world. Nice. Oh, here we go. Fool's Embrace. That's, I think, able to be gotten somewhere else. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. That's the dragon from Drakengard. That kicks off the entire world of NieR. These remixes are so dope. Like, they're kind of trash, but in an extremely good way to me. Oh, hearing the old NieR voice lines is so good. Oh, shockwaves. I'm not taking much damage though, so it's fine. No item drops? I'm not remembering these diary entries. There must be new ones. Okay, now we're in the temple? In the desert? Oh, kind of in a version of the temple. It's not the exact temple. Oh, I'm getting item drops now. Oops. The sand affects us even here. Oops. Oopsie doops. Oops. It's tough with the enemies on these pillars. Normally, platforming it sucks, but there's no enemy that's making it even harder. Oh, get out of here. My diary. Obtained the Kabuki outfit. Great. Easy done. We got the sword, we got the Kabuki outfit. I wonder if I can wear that. More doors. Can I leave and come and do this again?